What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joey Work from Run Pure Bets, and of course, I got my boy Jay with me. And this week, with our special guest, is former LFA Lightweight champion, current UFC Lightweight, Austin Hubbard. What's going on,
How's it going,
Austin?
everyone? Good. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Jay, how are you?
Hanging in, brother. Hanging in.
Sweet. So let's get right to it. First off, I want to say congratulations on your latest win over Max, and very impressive victory. Also, I saw on your Instagram, social media, congrats on the jiu-jitsu belt promotion.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
And additionally, so my first question is, I was wondering what it's like training with some of the killers at the Elevation Fight Team, including Overeem, Curtis Blaze, Neil Magny, Justin Gaethje, just to name a few.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. That is a ton of talent right there, a ton of experience. So obviously you're bound to get better training with those type of people. So I'm real blessed to be able to train with them and learn from them and pick things up. So yeah, it's cool.
So we know that your next opponent was just announced. You're going to be fighting in a couple of weeks, obviously, Joe Solecki. So have you watched any tape on Solecki yet? And if you have, what are you expecting from his style in this fight? And then I got one more question after that.
Yeah. So I was actually originally supposed to schedule him, obviously, that last fight, but I think someone told me he got sick and had to withdraw the week of the fight. So, I mean, honestly, I don't really watch film that much. My coaches do all that, and I don't care to do that because I feel like it just kind of makes me overthink things a little bit more. So I actually avoid that type of stuff. But I know he's more of a grappler, and so I'm kind of expecting him trying to get to the ground maybe, and if it stays on his feet, then that's fine too. I feel like I'm a very well-rounded fighter, so I feel comfortable wherever the fight may go. So I'll be ready for anything.
I'm really happy that we have you on because I wanted the opportunity to ask you this question. So you coming off the win, obviously, versus the newcomer, Max Roshkov. And I was wondering what your thoughts were that night when you see him not come out of his corner at the end of that round after you, put it on him. Put it on him, right? So the public kills the kid. Yeah. And they don't realize what it takes to get in that cage to begin with, right? Never mind piling on a young kid because he didn't have anything left to give that night. So I wanted to know, had you had the chance to talk to him after that fight was over that night or since that fight?
Oh, yeah, I actually did go. I messaged him on Instagram after the fight. I told him, I mean, he's a talented kid. He's young. I mean, I'm not that old either, but he is talented, and he does have a lot of potential. I told him, keep your head up, don't let people, get you down and stuff like that. I mean, it's a hard situation. I mean, most fighters have been at that spot at one point or another, taking a fight on short notice like that. I mean, even I signed that fight on 3 weeks' notice, and I thought it was going to be against another opponent, all that stuff. But I mean, regardless, I don't blame him. He's looking out for himself. It's a hard situation. He's young in his career. It's his UFC debut. So I thought he did. That was smart for him. Why take more damage? I shut him down where he was strongest, and I was, exploiting him on the feet. Why take that more damage and set back your progression that much further, you know what I mean? So I don't blame him at all. I think that was kind of smart of him. So that's how it goes sometimes.
Yep. All right, so if it's all right with you, we'll just run through your thoughts for the main card for tomorrow's Lewis versus Oleinik UFC event. So the first fight on the main card is Beneil Dariush versus Scott Holtzman. The always dangerous Beneil has been fighting in the UFC since 2014, off an impressive 4-fight win streak, including wins over Thiago Moses, Drew Dober, and Drakkar Klose. Holtzman's another UFC vet who's been in here, the UFC since 2015, and is 7-3 overall in the UFC. He's won 5 of his last 6 coming to his matchup. If so, how do you see this one going?
They're both very tough. Obviously, they both have a lot of high level experience. you know, Beneil keeps pulling off these great comebacks and wins, you know, so you can't count him out. And he does have a solid ground game, and Holtzman is more of a stand-up person, if I'm remembering right. So, you know, I guess we'll see if he can get it to where he's comfortable, and even if he can't, you know, like in those last couple fights, he still manages to pull off, you know, those big wins. So I think I'm gonna lean towards Beneil, but you know that'll be a great fight either way for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you actually completely. Next fight, women's bantamweight fight, Yana Kunitskaya and Julia Stoilarenko. Obviously, Kunitskaya comes in off the knockout loss to Aspen Ladd. And even though she won the 2 fights before that, and Stoilarenko, from the tape that I could find, was really impressive, man. She has a great submission game. She runs in and she pressures all her opponents on the feet, even though she isn't the greatest striker. She's a former Invicta FC champion, but she's still a pretty sizable underdog. Have you had a chance to look at these 2 ladies at all? How do you think this fight goes?
Honestly, I don't. I'm not very familiar with neither of them, but I know I'm somewhat familiar with Aspen, and she's a tough fighter. So, you know, to come off of a good win from her, you know, that's shows you're tough. So and skillful. So, you know, like I said, I'm not very familiar with them, so I feel like I can't give a proper opinion on it, and my opinion on who's gonna win because I'm not too familiar. So that one I'll just go with whoever the favorite Vegas odds favorite is.
That's fine. All right. So the next fight is Darren the Dentist Stewart versus Mackie Picciolo. So after losing his first 3 UFC fights, Darren fought back in his 4-1 since then. He has a 2-inch height advantage here. Mackie is off an impressive ground and pound victory of Charles Byrd back in June, in which Byrd retired following the fight. Mackie has finished 4 of his last 5. I fully expect these 2 to stand and bang, with likely a finish happening. Yeah. Who do you like in this one?
You know, that definitely is going to be a barn burner there, too. And I think the winner is going to go to whoever lands the clean shot first. You know what I mean? So that was another one that's kind of a toss-up for me.
Cool.
All right. Obviously, the co-main event is Omari Akhmedov and former middleweight champion Chris Weidman. We all know the struggles over the last few years for Chris Weidman since the Luke Rockhold fight. He comes into tomorrow night being knocked out 5 times in his last 5 losses. Akhmedov is a grappler first and foremost. Both fighters excellent on the mat. You would have to give the striking edge and finishing edge to Chris Weidman here, I would think. What do you think about this fight? Does Weidman get back on track, or will the difficulties continue for Chris?
You know, I think he will come through and get the win. To be in that position is, man, that's got to be stressful because, I mean, I don't know if he's going to have much more other chances if he loses this fight. So I think he's going to, you know, I think he's going to come out with some fire and really make a statement. So I'm going to go with Chris on that one.
Cool. All right. So on to the main event is Derrick Lewis versus Aleksei Oleinik. Man, I love both these guys as fighters, as entertainers. Derrick Lewis is one of 2 UFC fighters to beat Francis Ngannou, coming in with a 14-5 record in the UFC and a 2-fight win streak over Irlov Latifi and Bagan Iganov. Aleksei's a 43-year-old vet who has 73 professional fights under his belt. He's also on a 2-fight win streak over Fabricio Verdum and Mo Green. Particularly in the Verdum fight, Aleksei looked good in the first 2 rounds. He kind of gassed getting into the third with Verdum starting to take over. Both of these guys probably don't have the best gas tanks. With the fight being 5 rounds, I highly doubt the judges get to pick a winner here. What do you think about the main event?
You know, that's an interesting one, too. I mean, Lewis will come out and sometimes not be so active, you know, until the end and then knock the person out. So he's kind of a hard one to count out, you know, but Oleinik, you know, like you said, he's kind of I guess he's a little bit smaller of a heavyweight and definitely compared to Derrick Lewis. So, you know, but he has pulled off some good submission victories and wins against these high level people. So he's hard to count out too, but I mean, I haven't seen very many people hold Derrick Lewis down, and I don't know if he's going to be able to. He is an explosive dude. I think he might get the knockout on that one because he's like considerably bigger and he's quite a bit more explosive, you know. So, but you know, like it could be. I could be wrong because, like I said, Oleinik he does pull off those submission wins sometimes against people that I didn't think he was gonna beat. So that'll be a fun one to watch also.
Before we let you go, I wanted to ask you about the main event of UFC 252. Obviously, it's the trilogy fight, Stipe, DC. Who you got?
Ooh, see, that's a hard one for me too because I'm a fan of both of them, but I've been a fan of Stipe a little longer, so and it's such a hard one to call. So I'm gonna stick to who I've been a fan of longer, and I do think Stipe is gonna come through on that one and get the grudge match.
Jay's with me, Team Stipe.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a hell of a fight though. They both are just as capable of each other to win, so I think everyone's gonna win in that fight watching it.
For sure. All right. Well, first off, I just want to say thanks for being such a cool dude and coming on our show. Is there anything you'd like to plug, or can you let our followers know where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, you can find me on social media at Austin Hub with 2 B's or 155, and that is my Instagram and Twitter. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't really use Twitter probably nearly as much as I need to. more so Instagram.
Got it. All right, sweet man. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Austin.
Yep. You guys have a good night.
Good luck with everything in the future, man. Good luck on your fight. We'll be rooting for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right,
Take
man.
care.
Bye. So there you go, Joe.
There it is. Another week, another fighter.
Another week, another fighter. Really nice kid.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, sorry about being late, guys, but he had a emergency with his dog, so prayers up to his dog as well.
I mean, how do you not root for a kid that nice to win, though?
Oh, for sure. You got to root for him. I'm definitely rooting for him. Might throw some change on him too.
100%. You want to know what I'm rooting for? I'm rooting for Brooks Koepka to birdie one of these last 3 holes, or I'm gonna shit the bed in this bet that I made. That's what I'm rooting for from a personal perspective.
There you go.
All right, boys. We're out. We will see you back here tomorrow about 5 o'clock, sometime around 5 o'clock. We got the NASCAR race, the cup race. There's a cup race tomorrow and Sunday, so that's going to be fun. We got golf tomorrow night and Sunday. Obviously, NBA and MLB betting, but the big one, we got our UFC fight cast tomorrow. We'll start that around 5. We'll cover all the other sports, obviously. And then Sunday afternoon, we'll be back with the NASCAR race, PGA, MLB, and NBA. So until then, you guys know what to do. Join that movement. Ugh, I can't say the word movement, bro. This is like the 4th time I've hung up on that word. Join the movement and run pure. See you tomorrow. All right, Joey B. Be good.